Fellas, I've been thinking about getting addicted to drugs. Now, before I start this, I just want to continue by saying, don't do drugs. Just say no to drugs. Drugs are bad news bears, I tell you. But for this experiment, I want to try to get addicted to a hard drug so that I can try and see if I can get off of it. If I can get unaddicted to it. Because all these drug addicts out here talking about, oh, it's so hard. I need support. I need to be around people. I need this pill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I, you know, I'm not believing them, right? I think that I can probably get off of it quicker than they do. And I really want to see if they're lying or not. So a few drugs here that I got suggested from a few people who are maybe not addicts, but maybe are, people who do drugs at least, is fentanyl. I've got snort Advil. Let's see. I also got two more here. Let me turn. It's um oh uh saliva. Wait, saliva. I'm not sure here. Saliva. I'm not sure. And spice. I've heard those two. Somebody actually told me that you'll live your whole life as a doorknob if you go on Spice. Now that sounds like a hoot. I tell you, other things that I've got here is whenever you're getting off of the drugs, you want to surround yourself with people who don't do it. I feel like if I am a drug addict, I'm going to move away from my family, right? I'm going to commit fully to this. So I'm not going to know anybody who isn't a drug addict. All right, my best friend Billy with one eye, who is black, he's going to be a drug addict. He also has one leg. He's going to be under the bridge with me, doing drugs as well. That's going to be my buddy. So I'm not going to know anybody. So it's going to be a little harder for me, right? I've also got on here that a guy told me you only live once, so might as well do it if you really want to do it. Let's see. I'm not promoting doing drugs at all. I just want to say that. Don't do drugs. Drugs are freaking stinky. I'm just doing this as a science experiment, okay? Let's see. Oh yeah, another reason why I might do this as well is you'd be helping out the drug dealer, right? I love drug dealers. They're cool. They're cool guys, They're just trying to supply drugs in their local area. Most of them are good, right? You see, I don't know why these police out here want to take out the drug dealers, even though there's always going to be a new drug dealer, right? Instead of just letting the guys who are on the corner smoking drugs and doing all that shit, all the homeless guys, and they let them go free, even though they're the ones that are feeding the drug dealer. I think it's a load of malarkey, I tell you, and especially with drug dealers who aren't getting into any other crimes, like who don't have any beef, any gang beef or anything, guys who are just doing it for the love of the money, right? And they're still throwing them in the big house. It's crazy, I tell you. Um, Also, if I were to do this, I'd be taking drugs off of the street, right? So instead of them going to somebody else who maybe has like a family or kids or who is going to use them for harm, like give it to somebody else, give it to somebody else who shouldn't have it, or maybe while they're on the drugs do something bad. You see, so I'm taking it off of the street and giving it to me, and I'm a good guy. You know, I'm a pretty good guy. One guy said that if I had to get addicted to one, I should do Xanax. I'm not too familiar. I've always heard Xanax was kind of like or I always had the hunch that Xanax was kind of like a bitch drug because it's all for these, emo boys who, are like sad and stuff, and that's kind of like pussy shit. Like I want to be like doing the dude. I really want to do the fentanyl on the corner of 23rd, doing the fentanyl, geeking out, doing some dances. That shit seems awesome. Um, Another guy told me that if I get stage 4 cancer, I should start doing heroin. I honestly don't know really what that has to do with this, but yeah, that's what he said. And that guy actually was. He said that he was an ex-addict. So I'm not too sure. Also, one thing I could possibly get into with the whole drug addict thing is these homeless rinks. because most homeless people are drug addicts. Like, let's be real. Like, I would be a homeless drug addict. These homeless ranks of people who panhandle a street corner like it's a fucking full-time job. Like, that shit's serious, okay? You'll see him sitting there, and then you'll see the next guy walk up, and they'll shake hands, and they'll just switch. They'll just do the switcheroo, he's done with his 8-hour shift. This guy's clocking in, right? And also, you can make some real money with that. You really can. I tell you that. I mean, that'll more than feed my drug addiction. It might feed my whole my whole clique's drug addiction. That would be pretty sick. One thing I'm also worried about is a little, not too much, but like this whole experience is like a little illegal, right? So I'm thinking that before I start this whole process, I should really learn how to fake my death, or to fake being dead rather. Because if I get stopped by the police or they do a raid on my clique under my bridge, um, I want to fake being dead so that whenever they I don't know, the ambulance come gets me or whatever, they think that I'm like geeking out and blacked out or greened out rather. Whenever I'm in the back of the ambulance, I could just like jump up, you know, swing my arm to the right, take out that guy, maybe kick my leg to the left, take out that guy, and then I jump out of the back of the ambulance, go to the corner to my local dealer, and now I'm not feeling any pain from jumping out of the ambulance because I just got my fix, right? I think that's a viable strategy to all this. One other thing is that I've kind of always wanted to get into some kind of gang, altercation or gang beef. And I think this is the perfect opportunity. So while I'm homeless, I want to try and to get into some homeless gang beef with other homeless cliques. So in whatever city I'm in, I want to just like have brawls in the street because whenever you're homeless, you can kind of just do anything you want. So I kind of want to have some fights, maybe fight over different like corners for panhandling. I feel like that's probably a big thing in the homeless community is fighting over your corner for which block you're gonna start panhandling on. Well, fellas, let me know which drugs you guys think I should do. I'm really interested in this. I think it'll be a great science experiment. Really gets a lot of data from it. But I believe that's about it. Appreciate it.